Waypoint Insurance. Affordable insurance should be accessible to all. Working together with you in step. Dunbar Lumber text line. 650-650. I don't know. I'm just kind of regurgitating everything that I hear when it comes to consuming Vancouver Canucks-related content. This video would normally be a post-game video for the Vancouver Canucks and the Seattle Kraken game. We'd dive into the goals, we'd dive into the narrative of the game, we'd dive into the playoff odds, we'd dive into all that. That's normally how this show goes. But I've been doing this show long enough where we've been chronicling Canucks games as they happen to understand just where the market is and where y'all's reactions are with this situation. I think I know. You can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I feel like it doesn't really matter anymore. Do we even care anymore? And I know there's going to be an immediate reaction from some of y'all who read the title of this video and who go into the comments and say, Lego, how dare you go out there and question our love for this team and whether or not we really care about this team, because obviously we care. Lego, you can be a hater. That's all you ever do. You have the right to go out there and just hate on this team, and I don't like it, so I'm gonna unsub, leave, and dislike bot all your videos. You're free to do that. Totally fine. But I'll go out there and say this here. Whatever fandom you have for the Vancouver Canucks, whatever adoration you feel, emotional connection you have towards this team, I'd like to guarantee you that I'm kind of in that same boat. Because I don't need to go out there and make videos, post Vancouver Canucks game every time they play. Sometimes I miss a game because I'm out and about. I don't think I've missed a game this year, though, despite the vacations and despite all the extra stuff going on in my life, and I'm very proud about that. But I want this team, as much as anybody in this damn city, to succeed. And I will cheer my head off when they do that. I cheered my head off when the Vancouver Canucks beat the St. Louis Blues in the first round of the bubble playoffs. The very first Canucks playoff series victory, not including the play-in series, since 2011. I cheered my head off when they did that. I cheered my head off when Elias Pettersson had 100 points a few years ago. I cheered my head off when Andrei Kuzmenko almost scored 40. I cheered my head off when Quinn Hughes won the Norris. I cheered my head off when the Vancouver Canucks did all of these amazing, fantastic things when the vibes were good in this city with this team. And unfortunately, with this game against the Seattle Kraken, Vancouver losing 5-0 on home ice, getting shut out against one of the more inferior opponents they have in this next stretch, in one of the most important games of the season for them, because they need to get these points to make the playoffs, in a game where this is the score, and these are the guys that come out to play, these are the guys that score the points, this is the goalie that lets in all of these goals. On a night like this, I can't even bring myself to care. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Again, you know, like, I'll say this right here. Oh, Lego, why you being a hater? Because this is just how I'm reacting to the game. This is it. Like, I'll be honest here and say that I don't need to go out there and make post-game videos about every Vancouver Canucks game. I don't need to, but in a way, it's cathartic for me, as a fan who has been making videos about Canucks games for, 7 years now? I have a great time going out there and talking about what happens in the game and analyzing everything and breaking down who's doing well, who's hot, who's not. But I acknowledge that it's kind of a loss for me to do these videos, because this video in particular, I don't know if it's going to get many views. You know why? Not necessarily because these videos are terrible and I don't have any insightful commentary or breakdowns or analysis of the situation. I think my talking about the game is okay, but the reason I think this is not going to get many hits is because y'all just don't really care either. I watched a 5-0 game where the Canucks got, for lack of a better term, destroyed. I felt like they played pretty well, honestly. They had a lot of chances. They just couldn't beat the goalie. They just couldn't shoot the puck on net. They couldn't take a shot on goal if they were shooting on a soccer net. They were moving the puck well. They were moving their feet. I thought that there was some crisp passing going on, but the Canucks just could not execute. And we saw them lose 5-0 on home ice against Seattle. Jared McCann had so many gosh darn points. Big shout out over that guy. But even though Vancouver gets destroyed on home ice, I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, I don't really care anymore. Like, Vancouver wasn't really giving us much to cheer for this season anyway. So, what? We focus on next year? Is that the plan? I think that has to be the plan. You can't go out there and expect anything out of this season. Just reload in the offseason, get some new faces, inspire more hope for this fan base, because I'll tell you this, with ticket prices in Rogers Arena going so high up, with the season ticket members complaining every time there's a new announcement of price increases, which is absolutely justified complaining, with all this going on, it's becoming harder and harder to consistently invest that same emotion with this team. They're losing. It's costing more to watch these games. Hot dogs are still like $17 at the arena, $21 with a beer, whatever it is. And you're seeing this product on the ice. Canucks can't get anything to go their way. They lose 5-0 after dominating a lot of the play territorially in terms of holding the puck in the offensive zone. But guess what? It's Jared McCann with 3 assists on the game. Thatcher Demko lets in a bunch of goals, top cheese, as he kind of bleeds into his crease a little bit more. It's not great. This game just was not it. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, wow, does it really matter anymore? Obviously, it still matters. Like, of course, I'm still going to be a Canucks fan. And if the Canucks go out there in their next game and they absolutely stomp, they beat Vegas, they beat Colorado, they beat all these other teams that they have up against them next. If they destroy their opposition 7-0, 8-0, Demko gets shutouts, Lankinen gets shutouts, if that happens, then I'm going to cheer my head off, of course. We're going to have a good time talking about those games. But overall, I think this game against Seattle may or may not have just been encapsulating of the energy that this team has supplied for its fans, for its media, for everybody who had any sort of expectation for this team heading into this season. Because they just couldn't get it done. Seattle, congrats to them for getting 5 goals on Thatcher Demko, 4 on Thatcher Demko, and then 1 on the empty net. I can't even go out there and bring myself to talk about the goals individually. Talk about the narratives. Hey, Shane Wright's having a season. That's awesome. Jared McCann coming back in Vancouver, doing some really good things for himself there too. Say what you want about the Seattle Kraken and their lack of top-end talent and projectable success with the guys they have on their roster, but they got the best of Vancouver tonight, and they ended up winning 5-0. So at this point, I'm here as a Vancouver Canucks fan, a really big Vancouver Canucks fan, as big of a Canucks fan as a guy in his mid-20s can be. As much for a guy that is born in the year 2000 and didn't start watching hockey until 2011 could be. I literally talk about this team for a living, pretty much. That's my job here. So of course I'm going to go out there and say that I care about this team. But after a game like that, it's really hard to feel like it matters. So, I don't know. We'll feel better tomorrow, don't worry, I'm okay. Like, I appreciate the folks who go in the comment section and say things like, hey, Lego, you sound pretty beat up. Are you good? Are you doing well? Yeah, I'm doing great. I was able to get some work done while watching this Canucks and Kraken game. I was doing very productive things, so I'm personally fine. As a human being, I appreciate your kindness. I always am happy to see that. But after watching a hockey game like that from my favorite team, getting smoked by Seattle in a 5-0 loss at home. Just throw this one in the back burner, guys. We don't need to think about it anymore. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Vancouver Canucks losing another game here. It's their 3rd straight loss in a row. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about it? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.